What's happening, everybody? So, these are all cut. And I can show you comparisons. That wasn't good for the floor. Just pick any one of these. These are all cut on the left. These ones need to be cut. So, the one comparison I showed you still has, it's the ever so tiniest, uh-oh. The tip of my razor blade broke off. Yeah, as you can see, I'm just literally cutting down. Now let's just show you this. So, see this here? I'll show you the same type. So it's just little tiny, different, like this has to be popped out. Tag, and I'm just cutting the edge where no one will see it, and I'm taking any blemishes that will stop the wood from touching, but I'm not touching my finished edge. Just ever so carefully digging out that inner angle. I'll do the same thing to this. See how that's popping out? I'll break that off. I'm just going to cut that out. Cut that out. Come in here. Geez, that looks good. I'm just digging that corner out. One, so that glue can get in there, but two, we don't want the wood stopping. We don't want little boogers stopping all the wood to touch. We need everything to touch. Flawless 2-hour cuts. That will give maximum structural integrity, because we need all surfaces touching all surfaces. Even one little feathery bump can stop a whole board from touching the other board. So we're just taking all those possibilities away. We're making sure that when I do put my rail to my slat, see how nice and perfect that is? No air. Just like Jordan Sparks and Chris Brown. No air between the boards, right? And where I'm cutting, no one will ever see. I just got to make sure that my knife doesn't touch my finished edges. Where it will be seen. But I don't want to take too much out, because then the surface areas won't touch at all. But we need room for a little bit of glue. We also need room for perfection. so that these boards properly tighten up and the fibers can mend together. Once we've got them clamped. So I'm just going through and just barely, ever so slightly. Like, look at how you can literally see the knife in there, and then I just pop it out. Come through on this side, and I'm just barely touching the tip of my knife. I'm not touching any of the finished outer edges, because if I did that, it would mess my finish up. We don't want that to happen. Okay. Okay. I just keep going. Got to pull that tab broken. Break that tab off. And then cut. Just taking any chance away. Any chance that these boards don't sit nice and flush. See? They sit nice and flush. This is where the plywood will be. We want to make sure that plywood sits right up against the style. That one got a little messy. But we cleaned it out. That's the part that matters. Okay, that one weren't bad. Got trimmings everywhere. But gotta do it. Remember, you're not touching the finish. Well, you guys shouldn't do anything anyway, because, I don't know. If you're not a professional, you should not be doing this. You get hurt real quick. I make it look easy, but I've done this for a long time. Like, you would think that I had just cut that finished edge, but I didn't. I'm just going in there ever so slightly and just taking away all that excess. There we go. Look at that. So I've got 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 21 down. No, Odin is not in here. Say hi to the camera. Hi. Those are my girls and one of my daughter's friends. Anyway, back to cutting. I'm actually gonna get a new knife. Once you feel that your knife is starting to lag on a pull, especially on your hardest pulls like cross cuts, just get a new blade. Because anytime that your knife fights you, that's the time that you're gonna end up pulling too hard. It's gonna get stuck, and then you're gonna rip and go into your skin and go off. So it's kind of a catch-22. You would think a sharper blade would actually hurt you, but actually, as long as you know what you're doing, you have control. The sharper blade gives you more control, so you don't hurt yourself, especially on these cross-cut grains. So I don't know if you can see that, but there's just a little extra excess right in this little corner here, and that will stop my styles from properly touching. Now once I get that cut, now that I'm rolling it forward, it'll look like that, because I got it tilted, see? But when I just put it perpendicular, there's still a gap. So anyway, I gotta cut this out, then I'll show you it'll fit. Look at how that goes right through that. And you can see where the blade, remember the shape of the blade on top is a V. See? At least that's my Diablo blade. If I had a nice finished blade, it wouldn't. It would be square. It would cut all of the stuff off, but I have the Diablo. It is an ultra finished blade. It has nice teeth, but the carbides are angled at the edge. Kind of bothers me, because I would not have to do any of this if those teeth were square. Okay. Now remember, I still have not sanded any of these. Well, I did a pre-sand, but I mean, I'm gonna have to go through and sand all these down to, 200 grit. A lot of people go more, but 100 grit really on a Festool is all you need. I'm going to be painting them, so it doesn't have to be this crazy big sand job. Yeah. Now I'm just following that line and making sure that down the whole grain of the wood there isn't excess from where my blade couldn't cut it. I'm going nice and slow. So my blade doesn't follow another grain. I don't want it to catch a grain that would detriment the piece of wood, be a detriment to the piece of wood. 6 more to go. See that tag? That's just got to come off. And look, it's already got this stuff falling. This right here is my main concern. Getting this junk out, because you're gonna see this. The plywood has all this room, all this extra room. I will get it tight, but it has almost an inch. Actually it does, it has a full inch of play. Of course we're gonna get the plywood tight so that this is very strong, but this has no play at all. And now that I've cut that, see, I'll probably have to cut down some of these rails. Look at that, nice and tight. And each piece will have to be, slowly manipulated so that it's nice and super tight. This is just a big rough draft on all these pieces of wood to get them to where I need them, shape-wise. And then the rest will be fine-tuning with a sander, usually with a sander. I'm also doing another, this is more. This is like the second draft of rough fitment. You notice I'm keeping my finger away from this line. I don't want my finger in there. I've already had to cut this one off because of frostbite. I cut that off myself. No hospital. Turned black, working in the cold. It turned black. It started to turn white around the knuckle. It was just dead. And I had to continue working. So I took a knife and chopped it right off. Well, I just cut around it, took the finger right off. I kept it for a little while, wrapped it in toilet paper. I didn't know what to do with it. I didn't want to, it was my finger. I was like, what the hell? But then I threw it away. So what the hell am I keeping that for? That's weird. Black tip, fingertip. I had to let go. This doesn't have much. It does right there though. And when I first picked it up, a piece come right out of it. Remember, I'm not taking much here. I'm just barely cutting that inside angle so that anything that's there will just go away. Just like that. Yep. Just like that. I wish that phone zoomed in a little better, because you could see that's how much was in there. That's quite a bit. You cut that out, then you get nice fitment. Get a really nice fitment. Look, there's another tab. Just gotta cut that off. All this crap in here. I like to do my crosses first. Look at all that junk inside that. So I purposely went this shy so that I could control the outcome with this knife. Because if I had gone too far, I would have gone so far that it would have made it weaker, because my blades aren't square at the top. They have a V. They're staggered this way and this way and this way. The tips of my carbide saw blade. So, because of that, I had to go almost to the line and then plan on trimming it down like this, wherever it needed. The good thing is, all of my outside finish lines are exact. But I made sure the tip of my blade was centimeters, whatever, 64ths of an inch, almost to the depths of what I needed. So you know what I mean? These lines are right, but the depth, I almost went to where I need. That way I could shape it up like this and just get the excess out of there. I don't know where that came from. Anyway, that's all done. 4 more to go. See, and we have little tails now. A couple of these fell, so I have a dent there. And that is why I made extras. Matter of fact, where are my extras? Oh, my extras must be in here. 4 there. Weird. Huh. They're in this pile somewhere. So I've just made sure that I have extra wood that has each cut that I need. That way I can just take a length. If something goes wrong with a rail or another slat, I can just cut the length and I'm all set. I'm just barely taking that extra 45. Sweet. Nice. Always whittle away. Always whittle away. Okay. Keeping my sharp finish line and making sure, look, my tab, still gotta cut that out. Just barely taking a little bit. And I'm keeping my blade away from my finished edges, which is basically the edges that you will see on the face of the door or drawer. This one will be a drawer. Okay. I like that. Ooh. There's a little, I'm gonna glue that real quick. Alright. "30 seconds. Or I can just clamp it like that. All right. So, you've seen what I'm doing with this. I got 3 more to go. And once I'm done with that, I'm going to strategically fit each one of these into their custom doors. And I'll label them all so that each, oh, there's my extras. So I gotta cut these too. I'll keep those separate though. Anyway, I'm going to fit these to each door and keep them together, label them. That way each tongue will fit between each groove and all of my finished seams will be perfecto. No air. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you at the next step. Main Man Squanto, out.